All right, today we're gonna talk about 5 things I hate about the Kukirin G2 Master. This is the 2025 edition. First off, this scooter looks awesome. I get more compliments on this than I do on any of my other scooters. I do think this is a solid scooter. It's probably in my top 3 of my favorites that I've rode so far. So I'll tell you just a few things that I like about it. It goes nice and fast. This one goes 37 top speed, 37 miles an hour. The price on this one is not bad. It's $1,000. It's $999. I believe I have a code quest that saves you $20 at kaguscootersusa.com. This scooter actually comes with one of the nicest toolkits you get with any scooter. That's one thing I complain about. Like, bro, they didn't even give me all the tools I need. So the first thing I hate about this, and it's also one of the things I like, which is kind of annoying, but this scooter has some of the best acceleration I've tried on any scooter. It might get to the top speed faster than any other scooter I've been on, or at least get to a higher top speed. But this scooter, it has 3 speed modes, and it has single or dual motor options. It's hard to go slow on it. Like, let me see if I can give you an example. I'm barely rolling. I'm in mode 1, and I'm gonna push it here. And it whips right up to that top speed. Like, I had to lean forward into it. On the eco mode, I know I'm in dual motor, but on the eco mode, it just whips to that top speed. I feel the front tire skid out a little bit. The front lifts up a little bit. It's a weird thing to complain about, but just right out of the box on dual motor, even on single motor, it's got some pretty quick acceleration. It just feels like it jerks out from under you. It's not like the best rate of acceleration for me. It doesn't feel smooth. I don't know. It feels like it's ripping out from under me and then I'm holding on to go. I just feel like that's really cool for your mode 3, but your mode 1, your eco mode, it shouldn't get to the top speed of like 12 or 13 in like 1 second. Anybody who's tried to ride this, even when they started on the slower ones, almost fell off, almost popped into a wheelie. And the other part of it is it feels like it's hard to finesse your speed. Like, you barely push down on the throttle and it's already going to max. I don't have to push it all the way down. I just push it down a little bit. So I don't have like a lot of room to adjust my speed. It just seems like it wants to go max. So it gains points for having really quick acceleration when I want, but that's my only option, is it just goes quick. Oh, there goes the boat. Look, any day now, I'm gonna have some kind of electric scooter for the water. But look, the number 2 thing that I hate about this G2 Master is this thing is short. It's kind of short, I'm not gonna lie. I have it in the top position here. It's adjustable, it's got 3 height options. It's short in the top one. It's manageable, it's doable, but like, my arms are fully extended. When I stand on this, my arms are fully extended. I have to crouch down to get any bend in my arms. And it just feels like it should come up another like 3 or 4 inches. There really should be one more notch for somebody that's my height. They don't quite have an exact like recommended rider height in their manual, or I didn't see one. And honestly, like, I think this is one of the more popular scooters worldwide. So look, maybe all the short king countries are thinking that this is a tall scooter. But for me, I was actually surprised that the max height was so short. I even, after riding around for a day, was like, no, it's gotta go up one more. I thought I was gonna click it in there. I swear it's gotta go up one more. And let me just give you an idea. I'm gonna put it all the way down here. Like, that is short, dude. This is like a little kid scooter. I'm bent over the handlebars when I have it all the way down. The top position, it barely comes up higher than this. It feels short. I don't know. It feels like when you have an adjustable height for a scooter, it should be taller. Because there's a lot of scooters that don't have an adjustable height where it's just taller than the max height on this. So it seems like a missed opportunity for taller riders. It's just on the slightly small end for me. Anybody that's an inch or 2 taller is gonna have a worse time. I sincerely feel like the high point on this should either be like the bottom or the middle. Like, it should definitely go up another notch or 2. If you're gonna have adjustable handlebars. But honestly, the more I think about it, there's more people that are shorter than me than people that are taller than me. So if they make it shorter and shorter and more comfortable for somebody who's shorter, then they probably sell more scooters. But for me, I'm 6'3", legally 6'4" in Florida. I wish this was just a few inches taller for the handlebars. Come on, just a few more. One more notch for me. It seems possible. You got all this room in here. Give me just another notch, bro. Go. I'm not really gonna include it on this list, but I don't love the horn. It's like, meh. It's not loud enough for something that goes 37 miles an hour. Just put a motorcycle horn on there or something. Why is it a little buzzer? Now, I do wish this scooter could be a little bit taller, but the third thing I hate about this is the grips and the handlebars. I don't think that it's wide enough for a scooter that goes 37 miles an hour. I've been on a few scooters where the handlebars are just slightly wider, and it feels like a much more comfortable ride. Now, the grips on these, they move a lot, and they kind of move weirdly. And I just feel like the handlebars are small. I've adjusted the brakes several times. I just don't feel like I have enough room to grab and brake adequately, you know what I mean? It seems like compared to any of my other scooters, no matter what I adjust here, I have a little bit of trouble pulling the brakes all the way down in a comfortable manner. The grips are always moving under my hand. They're like not as stable as they should be. Now, honestly, I've been on a few scooters where I just did not love the grips. And I think it's getting to the point where I just need to find some third-party grips that I like and just use those, because there's just a few times where I'm like, I don't want to hold on to this all day. So I really feel like an improvement could be made to the grips and the handlebars. I feel like it should be just a little bit wider for the handlebars for a number of reasons, and that leads me into the fourth thing that I hate about this scooter. But look at it. Look at it right now. Any little bump I hit, ooh, it starts to wobble. I've only been on a few scooters that I think have had an issue with wobbling. One of them was wobbling at like 20, 25 miles an hour. This one, right when you go past 30 miles an hour, it wants to wobble. Some of these roads, if they're not like perfectly smooth and flat, it'll just start wobbling. Or you hit one little bump going 30 something and you gotta hold on to this crazy little wobble. I've never experienced wobbling at that speed. At 37, the only other scooters I've had were wobbling at a slower speed. This road right here is the first one that I noticed it on. My first test ride, I was taking it easy at first, getting used to the scooter. And by the time I got to this road, I just noticed it would wobble. Now, this isn't the smoothest road. It leads to the beach over here. But this thing it wobbles so much. And honestly, it's manageable, but like, I don't like that it wobbles, right? It says 40 on here. I gotta be extra conscious of it. I gotta start to slow down. And I really think that if the handlebars were wider, it wouldn't wobble as much. Now, I've looked into some different ways to try to combat this. I've taken air out of the tires several times. It's just right when I go past 30, if I'm not on like the smoothest road ever, it's most likely wobbling. So the fact that it wobbles after 30 miles an hour is actually surprising to me, because this thing is so popular. There's so many people leaving comments about this on TikTok, on Instagram. Anytime I post another scooter, they're like, oh, it's a Kukirin knockoff or whatever. And I'm like, dog, this one's better than the Kukirin. You think it's a knockoff? And then when I looked it up later, there's a lot of people that just talk about this particular scooter wobbling. The G2 Master previous edition, the 2025 edition. Some of the other Kukirin scooters apparently have an issue with wobbling, which I'm not gonna lie, that sucks. That really sucks, because that means it's not one of my safer scooters. I like to ride fast. I'm gonna hit that top speed and go as far as I can, as fast as I can. And if it feels dangerous, if it's not super comfortable to hold the grips, if it's not super smooth, super stable when I'm riding, then it can't be my main ride. Ooh, you heard that skid. Yeah, that's the acceleration. This thing has insane acceleration. It always skids on a curb hop. But then once you start going over 30, get ready for them wobbles. Now, I still feel like the wobbles are something I might be able to get, like a steering dampener or stabilizer, whatever they're called. I might be able to make a few more adjustments. Look at it wobbling now, dude. I might be able to make a few adjustments to it to help stabilize that. But the combination of the touchy acceleration, I'm not able to like finesse it down a few miles an hour if I want, and these somewhat narrow handlebars, I feel like I'm not getting the most stable ride. All right, this video can't be all negative. I'll just show you a few things I like about it. I do like that it has front and rear blinkers here, and they're both on the deck. You don't have to worry about covering them up on these tiny handlebars. I really do like the deck here, the pedal, the kick plate, whatever you want to call it. That's probably one of the nicer ones. I think I do end up liking that a little bit more overall than my other scooters. And I gotta say it again, this thing looks sick. Like, I get a lot of compliments on it. I rode around on a bunch of scooters and people are like, where's that orange and black one? That one's sick, bro. Which I thought I was gonna get a ton of compliments on the Segway G3. It's all red and black and looks like Darth Vader. Zero people said anything. Several people have said something about this. So, I mean, that's gotta say something, right? Oh, I also like the folding latch. It does a pretty good job here, although it's hard to get in and out once it clicks in there. It's not hard to get in, it's hard to get out, I should say. Now, I still think that this Kukirin scooter is a solid deal. It's only $1,000. I do have that $20 off code Quest if you're looking to save some money. There's definitely scooters in the same price or scooters that cost even more than this that just aren't as good. They're not as fast, they're not as fun. Let me just stand it right over here. Yeah, this one's all the way up and it's like an inch higher than the rentals here. It should be taller. It should be taller. Woo! All right, so the fifth thing I hate about this scooter, I'll just do a combo. The charge time and the range are a real bummer. So I do have to say they improved on the previous version. They went from a 2 amp to a 3 amp charger. I think it used to take like 10, 11 hours to charge, which I'm used to. But with the 3 amp charger, it charges in like 8 or 9 hours, which is a long time. And they don't give you a dual charging option. I wouldn't take away points if there was like a dual charging option and you could just get it to max battery in half the time like some other scooters offer. But you just have the one charge port option and it's gonna take you about 8 hours or so, which I think the first time I rode it, it was pretty close to that. Now the charge time wouldn't be a bummer if the range was better. Now I've got some different results on this, but I usually get like 22 or 23 miles on this. I was hoping it would go over 25 miles total, but it doesn't. And that's one of the reasons I'm bummed out. It wobbles at max speed. It doesn't go as far as I was hoping. It's a decent price, but it's just like a little bit on the small end. I wasn't sure before I got this if it was gonna replace my main scooter or not, but I found out pretty quickly that it was not going to. As soon as it started wobbling, I was like, oh yeah, no, we're not doing this. But then when I only got like 22, 23 miles, I was like, bro, what? My other scooter goes like 30% farther. My awesome DT2 Pro has like a 30-mile range. That's my favorite scooter because like anytime I go out for a joyride, I ride like 25, 30 miles easy. This one, like my first range test, I actually thought I was gonna get more range out of it and it died on me like a few miles from where I parked. So look, maybe they come out with a 2026 edition and they improve on all those things, but I'm probably gonna go up one step, see how the G3, maybe the G4 works out for me. But this thing, at the end of the day, it's a little bit disappointing just due to the wobbles in the range. Speed's nice, acceleration's nice, it looks cool, but the wobbles in the range and the height, I think a few of those go together. All right, that's 5 things I hate about this scooter. I still like it, it's in my top 3 favorite, but there's some improvements to be made. Hopefully the next scooter I get has improved on all of these things. Either way, if you're getting out there and you're riding a dang old wobbly scooter like me, wear a helmet, bro. I'm about to fall on this thing, I swear.